Hey everyone, welcome to our webinar this morning, Lead Your Own Team Booking Blitz. We're going to get started here in just a minute or two. So while you're sitting there, make sure you've got pen and paper ready to take some great notes because we have got some amazing information to share with you today. So get comfy, grab that glass of water, that cup of coffee. Looks like we've got people logging on, very fun. We're gonna have a full call today. You're gonna hear the amazingness that Erin Bartley is going to share. Very fun. All right, gosh, it is gonna be a busy call. Are you excited, Erin?
I'm excited, I'm ready.
Okay, good, good. All right, we're just going to wait for one more minute. As we're doing the call today, it will be recorded and will be sent out to all of those who have registered for the call. We're also going to be sending it out to the RSMs as well, so you should be receiving it if you're a team coordinator and above from your RSM as well. We are going to have an opportunity for a Q&A at the end, so as you're thinking of your question, if you want to go ahead in the chat screen and type in your question. We will get to as many as we can at the end of the call. All right, I have time to get started. So my name is Susie Reed. I'm a regional sales manager here in the western part of the US. And I'm super excited about our call today because we have a lot of exciting things going on right now in Norwex, don't we? Party for the Planet, it's Mott Month. And, you know, the thing that I remember when I was in the field is that what you do today sets your business up for 90-day results, but really, where you really see the big results is about 6 months from today, as long as you're consistent with your action steps. So starting today in April to help your team create more bookings is going to springboard into May and then into June and then really big in July and onward. So let's get started. I get to introduce you today to Erin Bartley, Senior Executive Sales Leader. Ashley, my PowerPoint isn't.
Oh no.
And it was earlier.
Oh.
So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Erin Bartley, Senior Executive Sales Leader. While Ashley's figuring that part out, let me just tell you a little bit about Erin. So Erin is a mom and a wife, and she lives in a small mountain community in Covington, Virginia. She's also a high school cross-country track and field assistant coach. She joined Norwex in 2016 because her husband talked her into it, but also she really felt that everybody should own an EnviroCloth. So what excites her most about her Norwex biz? Well, Erin says she gets most excited about the fact that she knows it's actually up to her, that she holds the key. She loves how much she's learned and grown as a person since joining Norwex. So I want to welcome Erin. And Erin, we're going to start with why you think everyone should do a Booking Blitz.
So let's see if we can get these slides working really quick. Susie, I think you might just have to reshare your screen. I know y'all worked really hard on these slides. So press the share button again.
So where it says stop share?
Yep.
Yeah. And just kind of refresh it and share your screen again, and we'll see if that works.
And sometimes, this is our troubleshooting part of the webinar. Okay, so also put, sometimes you just have to put your mouse back over top of the screen again.
There we go. We can see your screen now.
Yep.
Okay, let's see if I can advance it.
Looking
there
good.
We are. Look at Erin.
There we go. All right.
All right, Erin, here we go. You're on.
Okay, so the whole idea of the Booking Blitz. This whole thing came about when I met my RSM, Lynn Branham, and we started to make a plan for my promotion to Red Jacket. And one of her suggestions was to hold a monthly Booking Blitz on my team to increase the number of parties that my team was holding, because we all know that all momentum comes from the party, right? So if folks aren't booking parties, if I just have people, casual consultants entering orders, then I'm not going to have people adding team members. I'm not going to have that growth that you experience when you have regular party bookings. So having a monthly booking blitz was part of that plan. So this started back in January of last year. And at that point, I only had like 4 consultants join. So it was a very slow start. And in talking to Lynn about, doing the booking blitz and why I should continue, these reasons that you see here on the screen, new consultants learn how to book. It's great for team members who want to restart. You create a booking team culture. I didn't know that these were going to be the effects until months down the road. So these have been the effects of the booking blitz now a year out. Now I'm a year plus, right? I've been doing this over a year now. So I didn't know that these were going to be the benefits. I was just trying to increase the parties on my team to make a promotion happen I was trying to promote by the conference that year, the national conference, and it happened. It did happen. So those are the reasons why. So I did it to increase team bookings, to make a promotion happen, but then also all these other side effects came out of it, and that's why I've continued on.
Excellent. So true. When you touch one part of your business, it's not like our lives are like a pizza where when you touch one piece, it doesn't, you can cut it and it doesn't affect every other part. So I love that, that learning there. All right, so numbers tell a story. So why don't you go ahead and just share with everybody, kind of where you started and where you currently are today.
So like I said, last January, my business, I could not figure out how to get anything going besides my own personal business was great. Like I had no problem at all with parties or recruiting, but I was having problems, getting my new consultants up and going and getting them working the business. And so the Booking Blitz was a way to easily do that. So I had 20 to 30 active consultants. That's probably even generous. $11,000 in group sales. So I was, basically being paid at title as an ESL, barely sometimes. And I wanted to promote by the national conference, and I needed a plan to make that happen. And honest to goodness, there's no way that I would have promoted that June, from January to June. We're talking just a 6-month period of going from, maybe 20 active consultants a month to the 75 engaged that you need to promote to Red Jacket. So, and the only thing that I did differently in that 6-month time, this is what I implemented consistently, this Booking Blitz. Mm-hmm. So when I promoted, of course, I had 75 people engaged and I had over $40,000 in group sales. And now it's consistently, my group sales have more than doubled than when I had started. I just wrapped up a Booking Blitz that I did for the beginning of this month. And I had written down my numbers here. So I had 30 people attend 30 people RSVP for my Booking Blitz. And we'll talk about here in a minute about what that means to RSVP for the Booking Blitz. But I had 31 people RSVP, 12 people checked in on my roll call post. And of those folks that checked in on the roll call post, there were over 20 actual bookings made. So over 20 parties were added to my team for our team calendar. Over 20. And I just have to ask you, what is 20 parties added to your team calendar? And not only that, but having consultants thinking about a number of parties that they want to book.
So great info. And you're so right, Erin. Parties, they're the foundation of our business. And we tend to think that parties, everybody can get parties. And while that's true, booking parties is a learned skill. So I love that you're using this Booking Blitz as a way to train your team to get more bookings. Perfect.
And see, that was a disconnect for me because I didn't have problems with the skill.
Right.
Because I'm a people person. I was a therapist for years. So it wasn't a problem for me to do that. But I definitely now see that this is a skill that I have to like really teach step by step to my consultants. And once they learn it, they really know it. They know how to do it.
Absolutely. Love it. So in Erin's plan, there is a pre-planning part to running a booking blitz. There is the during the booking blitz, and then there's a great follow-up to the booking blitz. So that's what we're going to learn next here.
Okay.
All right.
So the blitz is created off of my team page. It's an event, a Facebook event created off of my team page. And it's set for a certain day and a certain time. And I've tried different ways of doing the blitz, and this is the best way that has worked for me, is that I pick a date and time. So for instance, our most recent blitz was Sunday night from 7 to 9 p.m. And then they had until 9 p.m. the next day to report all of their results to me. So I set it all up, and then I start making posts in the party to prepare them for what's getting ready to happen. So I'm really spoon feeding them the blitz. So I create an introductory post telling them what the blitz is about. And beforehand, when I add everybody to the event, I do a message guests and let people know that we're having the event. Or I use Project Broadcast. Now that I have Project Broadcast, I'll send a message out to my team and say, hey, we're doing a booking blitz. Be able to check out the event that I created on the team page. And that will get more people looking at the event.
Perfect. All right. So let's move into some of the actual things that you post.
Okay. So these are preparation posts. So I created the event probably 4 or 5 days before the actual event is going to happen. And like on my team banner at the top of my Team Ignite, our banner on our Facebook group, I have dates listed of things that are going to happen. And I already have the booking blitz listed on there even before I create the event. So people see, they know this is coming up, so they can plan for it, like to reserve that night to book parties. And I do have consultants that will plan ahead to participate in the blitz because they want that concentrated time to focus on their business. So this is one of the first posts that I make, and this is really about creating a mindset around booking. So why should someone host a Norwex party? So new consultants, their frame of mind is people are booking parties in order to help me. There's no benefit to a host at all. We all know that that is not true. There's countless benefits. I've had at the end of parties, many hosts and guests thank you for showing me these products. Thank you for bringing this into my home. You know, all the free stuff that they get. I mean, and then all of the chemicals they get to eliminate from their underneath their cabinet. So once they start that thinking process, you know, people will comment under this about why folks should have a Norwex party, and then that really starts to create a shift in thinking. You want to really create the mindset that hosting is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the host, and it's an opportunity for those guests that the host is going to invite.
Absolutely. Love that. Perfect. All right. Next.
I love this picture. Because we all have to get our heads screwed on straight. So lots of my new consultants just totally have their heads screwed on the wrong way when it comes to thinking about booking a party. Us as leaders, we have our heads screwed on the wrong way about all kinds of different things. But this one about booking parties is a major, major hurdle for new consultants. So I make this post about what mindset that you have, and I'll just read what I write on the post. This is a little funny, but the concept could not be more true. Negative or defeated thinking yields negativity and defeat. Have you heard of the power of positive thinking? It sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Set a goal in your head about what you want to achieve with this blitz and know it is yours. Get excited about reaching out to others and giving them the opportunity to share these amazing products with others. Improve the health of friends and family, and earn awesome and very generous rewards package. You have a gift to give. Who will you give it to? So that's all about creating a positive mindset when it comes to reaching out to others.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And something I'd really love to just really point out here. Number one, you ask them to set a goal. And then number two, you state, get excited about reaching out to others. And there's such a different energy when you're going towards what you do want versus fearing or running away from what you don't want. So I love how you set it up positively, Erin. It's awesome. All right, next, we've got our Frankie list.
Okay. And so with those two posts about mindset, sometimes I'll go live after that or before that and just give a synopsis of how the Blitz works, because new consultants are still confused about what this is. So I may go live and give a general overview of the entire Booking Blitz for everybody. And in that, I'll talk about mindset in that live video as well. So I'm repeating themes. It's important to repeat the same themes over and over again. People have to hear the same thing more than once before it's really, you know, internalized. Okay, so the Frankie list. So teaching people how to make a contact list is really important. So what I found the biggest mistake with new consultants is that they're only going to list people that they think want to host. So they're only listing people on there that they think want to host. So they're already judging who does and does not want to host. So the Frankie list is supposed to be a list of just a contact list of every single person they know, right? So when making the list, it's really important to give them specific instructions that they are listing everyone. That's so important. And this was a pitfall in my first Booking Blitzes, people having problems updating their Frankie list. And now I give a huge prize away for people who update their Frankie list. So I make the post about the Frankie list. I don't know if this is on one of the other, is this on the next slide about, yeah. So I give them, yeah, right here about numbering the people 3, 2, and 1, updating the list. And so this time I gave away a Lacer illuminating oil. Everybody that commented below that post that my list is updated, my list is up to date. So the requirements are you must have 40 people on your Frankie list, and you must number them this 3, 2, 1, and then you're entered to win the illuminating oil. And I give away, I have lots of shopping spree dollars, so it literally only cost me $6 to send that illuminating oil. And then I have, you know, 12 consultants who are updating their contact list. That's big for down the road. Because then when the consultant comes to me and says, hey, I'm having problems booking parties or what, you know, it's easy for me to go back and say, well, who's on your Frankie list? Who did you reach out to? They know what that is. How many people have you contacted off of that list?
Mm-hmm. And I think I remember hearing at your when you were doing this workshop at the leadership conference, that you challenged them to hit their nose first, like the definitely nose.
Yeah, so then when we start blitzing, the whole thing is to start with the number ones. Start with number ones, then move to number 2, then move to number 3. Mm-hmm. And I got this tip from the SESL Academy that I had attended last October, so, this is an awesome tip. So, you know, if they contact all their number ones first, then they're going to expect no. So when they get a yes out of that, it's a huge win. And that's clutch right there.
Mm-hmm. I love it. All right.
So these are more tips that I give folks. This is a graphic. This was on my presentation for national conference. These are just more for folks who are coming back that aren't new consultants. These are just more ideas about who to think of to contact. And I know that when I go through, like when I do my taxes and I'm going through old customer forms, I've got a whole pile of people I need to contact about parties. I like start remembering things, people I didn't follow up with. So I know that other consultants who've been with me more than a year have other contacts sitting out there, they just haven't been made yet.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, good. What's this one about?
Okay. I also this is all, again, before the Blitz is even happening. This is another pre-Blitz post. I'm asking people to look at their calendar and mark off all the dates they're not available, and then highlight the dates that they would want to have a party. And let's say that they only their goal is to only have one party in the month of April or the month of May. That's okay. Perfect. You want to have one party, but highlight all the days that you could put that party. So highlight all the possible days that you could have a party. And then, you know, the goal would be that once they start reaching out, they would have a lot more yeses than just one. Mm-hmm. So I start having them look at their calendar and look at where they want to fit things in.
Mm-hmm. Great. I love that you're meeting them where they are. It's their goal, not yours. But I also really, really agree with the fact that you're having them open their calendar and where do you want this party? Can you tell us at about what point in the pre-planning part of this do you post this post right here?
So let's say I create it 5 days in advance, then, you know, all the mindset stuff is in the first 2 days. So this might be, if my blitz is on like a Sunday, I might post this on a Friday, a couple days before.
Couple days. Okay, perfect. I'm sure that's some people's questions.
Yeah. So I want them to work on the Frankie list early on. I want them to the mindset and the Frankie list. I want them to work on that early on. And then the calendar is really happening, you know, within 1 or 2 days before the blitz.
Good. You always want to be prepared. All right. Tips to blitz.
So I don't post this until the day of the blitz. And if I know I'm going to be busy, the day of the blitz, you can't schedule posts in events anymore in Facebook. So I'll even post this early in the day if I know in the evening I'm going to be busy myself, because sometimes I'm running a booking blitz and I'm at a track meet. Mm-hmm. You know, the booking blitz is happening and I'm out at a party. So sometimes I'm not live there with them. I always want it to appear that way, and it's better if I am present because I can work on my own business too, so that's good. But if I can't, that's okay. This is something that can still be run with you kind of doing it remotely as well. So I might post this in the morning, but this is posted the day of the blitz, and these are my tips on how to actually reach out to people. And then I post sample scripts. You know, on the Red Jacket page, and then when Norwex does Booking Blitz, I'm always copying that verbiage and saving it in a document, Booking Blitz verbiage, and I just use different snippets of all the different Booking Blitz verbiage I've collected over the years, and I just share a few different scripts with them to use. Now, okay. There's been many months, now that we have a mop month, you know, mop month is something that happens regularly. I have lots of scripts specific to mop month. So once you've saved that, run an event and you kind of have that saved, you know, you can go back through Facebook and look through all your past events. You just copy and paste that stuff. Mm-hmm. I have it also saved into a Google Doc, because a lot of you have reached out to me and said, hey, can you give me your information on your Booking Blitz? And I just send you a link to my Google Doc. That's what as I collect different things I want to use, I just save it into my Google Doc and refer back to it when I'm ready to start up a new blitz.
Yes, perfect. And like you said, the first time you do this, it does take some time, right, to set it up. But then once you have it set up, it's basically a template that you follow every single month, minus the part about the mop month. Right. Keeping it simple, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And I think here we have a couple pages of scripts we've got here.
Yeah. So these are just, you know, generic. And you guys have scripts for booking. It's really important to provide the verbiage to your consultant. I am like kind of methodical about my scripts. I like to provide a couple ways, a couple different angles for people to approach a booking. So I do usually include a script that has something like, hey, I don't know if you heard, but I'm a new consultant with Norwex. I'm trying to get a few bookings on my calendar to get started. Would you be interested in scheduling a date to share these products with your friend and family? I liked a new consultant one. I like one that says, hey, I'm reaching out to some of my customers to offer a booking special. I'm offering a free kitchen cloth and towel set to anyone who can book on either of these 2 dates. So offering a prize and a 2-date option. So I'm teaching my people with the verbiage to offer booking incentives, and then also to always offer dates and end with a question. So I'm think about your verbiage that you're putting out there and what you want to teach your, don't put too much or people will be overwhelmed by all the choices, but just try to be strategic in what verbiage you choose.
And just so we're asking the same questions, about when would you post these scripts?
I post them underneath that pink slide that we just had, the tips to Blitz. And then it says in small verbiage in the comments below. So this is all posted in a comments below that tips to Blitz.
Okay, so it's the day of in the comment section.
Yeah.
Great. All right, here we go. It looks like we're going to start the Blitz.
Okay, so when I'm, okay, so before this, now you already have people attending. You'll have a number of attending guests. So I will use the message guest button probably an hour before the Blitz and say, hey, our Booking Blitz is going to begin at 7 p.m. I hope you can hop on. Remember, everyone who updates their Frankie List is entered to win the illuminating oil, and I'm giving away prizes for, and I'll list what prizes I'm doing that time. I do different prizes because I want to give people, different people opportunities to win. So I always have, you know, I always have like the real go-getters on my team who will book 6 parties off of Booking Blitz. And so if I just gave prizes for the most yeses, they would always win. So I do things like, I do prizes. You get a prize entry for every person you contacted. I've done prizes for every yes gets you 3 points. Every no gets you 2 points. It changes every month. So different people have an opportunity to win. So for this most recent Blitz, it was you get a prize entry to win a set of Norwex pillowcases it was every yes. So every yes got you an entry to win a set of Norwex pillowcases. And then every single person that you contacted gets you an entry to win a body balm. So the 3 gifts that I was giving away for this Booking Blitz were the illuminating oil, the pillowcases, and the body balm. In the past, I've done things as simple as an Enviro cloth, a wet wipes bag. I mean, they haven't been as extravagant, but I'm able to do it. And so I'm really rewarding people that participate in the Blitz.
The big idea here is that you are recognizing actions, not just results. And that's so important when you start to create a culture of team members being willing to be a little uncomfortable, step out of their comfort zone to make their goals happen. That's perfect.
And so they all check in here. Sometimes I've just done, if you just check in on the roll call post, you'll be entered to win. Sometimes I've done it as simple as that. So it changes every time. And so like this last Blitz, 30 people RSVP'd and 12 checked in on the Blitz. So 12, and then probably an hour into the Blitz, I sent another message with the message all guest feature and said, hey, it's not too late to hop on. Join us in the Blitz and fill your calendar. So I'm using that message all guest feature, all attending guests, not everybody that I invited, but I'm messaging everyone that clicked going.
Great. And this is happening from 7 to 9 p.m.
7 to 9. Yeah, this one on Sunday happened to be from 7 to 9 p.m. And then, yeah, if you scroll to the next one, yep, then I post this. And I had put in this post that you have until 9 p.m. Monday night to, you have until 9 p.m. Monday night to report all your results. And then Monday morning, I sent out another message and said, don't forget, the deadline is 9 p.m. tonight. Be sure to report your results so that you can be entered to win the illuminating oil, the pillowcases, or the body balm. And in the end, these are all people who join Norwex because they love the products. I don't know anybody who joined because they don't love it. So people are really motivated by products. I don't give away a whole lot of stuff that isn't Norwex products. My consultants love to win Norwex stuff. I like to win Norwex stuff, even though I already own it all. So it doesn't have to be a huge expense to you.
Great point. All right, so now we're in the follow-up part. So tell us about this part, because I think this is really a big key to your success.
So now that my Blitz is over, I will send a message to everyone, and I will post on that event about, okay, the Blitz is over, but booking parties isn't. So what I'll do is instruct them. The Blitz was on Sunday. Today is Tuesday. So I will instruct them to follow up with everybody where there was no response on today or tomorrow, and just send a follow-up. I'll give them the verbiage for a follow-up message like, hey, did you happen to see my message on Sunday? Just wanted to follow up and see if you'd be interested in hosting. Just a very simple follow-up, and just teaching them to follow up 3 days after. Now, I will also encourage them to keep following up until they get a yes or a no, either way. That's how I built my business, is that I didn't really take no response as an answer. So I continue to message people, whether it be, I usually do on the day of the Blitz, wait 3 days and ask again, wait 3 days and ask again, wait 3 days and ask again. So 3 additional times of asking. And then I might go to a monthly, and I just keep people, and I teach my consultants to keep a list of people that were, no response, and follow up with them for the next Booking Blitz. So I'm just teaching them this is what I already do in my business. So I have no problem telling them that this is what they should be doing.
And that goes to the updating the Frankie List, like, you said. Yeah. Perfect.
And a lot of my consultants don't update they'll use that time to update their Frankie List. I don't think they'd ever update it if I didn't. It's just not on the top of their head, because they're not working the business full time like I am. Right. So it's always on my mind, because this is where my income comes from. For them, this is kind of a part-time thing. And until they've really internalized, and I'm relatively new, I'm only 3 years in with Norwex. So all of the people under me are real new, a year or less, pretty much.
Yeah. Good. You're teaching them great business skills. So tell us a little bit about how you teach new consultants to follow up and then know how to host coach.
Okay. So I think in terms of teaching new consultants to follow up is just what I said about providing the verbiage to continually follow up until you get a yes or a no. And then to keep those people on your Frankie list to reach out to again for the next Blitz. Okay. And then, so I know who attended and who booked parties. So right then and there, I message new consultants and say, yay, you booked 3 parties. Do you want some help with your hostess coaching to ensure you have an awesome party? Because you don't want them to book a party and there be 2 people at that party. So there's a hostess coaching. There's a plan to ensure that you have 10 people pretty much 10 people at every party. So if you do your hostess coaching the right way, people will be there. So I try to set up a phone call to do that. If not, I have a Google Doc about hostess coaching. I have a hostess coaching unit on my team page. So if I cannot pin them down for a phone call, because people hate talking on the phone. I like to talk on the phone. No one else likes to talk on the phone except for me. So if I can't pin them down on a phone call, then I refer them to all these other resources.
Perfect. Big idea here is once you get the bookings, the next step, you have to host coach if you want to hold the bookings.
Yes.
All right. So here we have some things that you learned along the way. Let's kind of talk about those a little bit.
So, in the beginning, like I said, I only had 4. I think it was 4. It could have been less. It could have been 2 people join my Booking Blitz. It was, just pitiful. So, and I really learned that I would do it and I wouldn't have the best results. And so I would start thinking, what is it that I need to do to try to get people focused on this or to understand? And so that's when I had the idea of breaking it down into tiny, what are the actual steps of booking a party? And it's about the preparation, the mindset, knowing the verbiage. So really breaking booking down into these steps of preparing your mind, preparing your calendar, setting a goal, and then doing it, and then following up. So really breaking it down like that for my consultants. It works really well if you have a team meeting and promote your Blitz and then have the Blitz. That's a great way to do it, so people kind of know what's going on and they know to expect it coming. But if not, then I just say put it on your calendar and do it. And do it every month. Give it at least. So a lot of people have told me after the leadership conference, and even some of my really close leader friends have just said, Erin, I did your Booking Blitz and it just didn't work. It just didn't work for my team. So, and what I say to you is, did you do it for 6 months straight?
Yes.
So if it didn't work for you on month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, then I'll say, okay, it didn't work for you. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I just would be amazed if there's just no way. Because it's not like, I don't have like some amazing team culture. I'm not like some, it's just, I'm not doing anything crazy. So I have the same struggles that every single other new Red Jacket leader has. I have all of those struggles that you guys have, but this is one thing that is working to keep me afloat.
And I'm going to say that key word is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You're very consistent.
It's not going to happen in 1 month. It's not going to, I don't even think it's going to happen in 2. You might start to see movement in 3 months, but it really was. So let's see, I had been doing it since January, and then the leadership conference was in December, and I had huge results, or in January, that I had huge results at December with my Booking Blitz. So, I mean, I think it, if you don't give it a good 6 months, you've got to be able to give it and do it every single month for 6 months. You've got to do it every single month. So this is one of these things that's just going to take time, and it's just going to very incrementally build, because then I tell you what the other thing is, a lot of your older consultants that have been with you for a long time aren't really going to jump onto this as quickly because they're not familiar with it. It's going to be your new people that jump on. It's always my new consultants that are on this in the beginning. I have more new consultants on every Booking Blitz than my older folks. And I think there's 2 things happening. One, my people that have been with me 2 or more years know how to book parties, and their calendar is full and they don't have to be on the Booking Blitz. And my new consultants, I personally message all of them and say, you're new with Norwex, please come and attend this Booking Blitz so you can learn. Even if you have no interest in booking parties, just check it out to see what it's about as part of your new consultant training. So that's why it's going to take 6 months, because it's going to be a lot of your new people that are going to be a part of this.
Mm-hmm. And you're setting the expectations for your new consultant as well. You just said, even though you may not want to do parties, come learn, come listen. That's perfect. All right. Well, Erin, thank you so much for all that you've shared with us today. You told us how to pre-plan, how to actually lead the Booking Blitz, and then how to follow up. So before we go to the Q&A, I'm going to just give you a few challenges here, those of you on the call. Number 1 challenge, set that team Booking Blitz date in April to be held within the next week. Just jump in. We are going to have this Booking Blitz recording loaded up in the consultant office. So it'll be under training, and then book more booking ideas. Number 3, set your team Booking Blitz dates now in May, June, and July so that they know what's coming. Of course, you're going to want to also set it in August, September, October, November, December, but let's start with April, May, June, and July. And then set your team booking goal. How many team bookings do you want created within your team? Have your team members set their goals, and then that becomes your team booking goal. You want to invite the team members, just like Erin suggested, personally invite especially your new consultants, and then follow the steps, prep, blitz, and follow up. So with that, Susan Bauer, come on, and why don't you go ahead and share some questions we've got.
I would love to. And first, I just want to say, Erin, thank you so much. Going through all the comments and questions, people are just loving this. They do have a few questions. I love that you took this and did it consistently for a year. Like you said, you don't always see results immediately. And that this is such a support, a very consistent support for new consultants. And what you're teaching them in terms of using their Frankie List, keeping it going, And then just like a party, you got to, you know, think of the before, the during, and the after. So kudos to you. Thank you so much for sharing with everyone. And as Susie said, because this is a question that's come up a lot, will this be recorded? Will we be able to have your slides? So thank you for sharing all of that. So let me dig into a few other ones. Do you do it the same time of the month every month, Erin?
No, I haven't, because my schedule is nutso, like all of yours is too. So I haven't nailed that down. But what I will say is now I'm thinking I am going to do it. This is a horrible time to do it in terms of everything that goes on at the beginning of the month. But I'm thinking I'm going to do it at the beginning of the month after I do I'm starting something different with new consultants. So I'm thinking I'm going to be reaching out to my new consultants and doing some training there and putting the seed about the Booking Blitz in that training at the beginning of the month, of every month for new consultants, and then doing the Booking Blitz right after that. So I believe I will do it at the beginning of the month, every single month. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to do it like the first Sunday of in that first week, every single month, because then that gives them the whole month to book, like they can book that month out. So that's my tentative plan moving forward. So it worked doing it randomly. At some months I would be like in week 3 of the month and like, oh, I didn't do my Booking Blitz yet. And I'd have my call with Lynn. I did monthly calls or weekly calls with Lynn, and Lynn would be like, did you do your Booking Blitz yet? And I'd be like, no, I haven't.
So I think that Susie's challenge is a good one. You know, put those dates in now. I love the idea of doing it in the beginning, because especially if at the beginning of every month they're updating their Frankie list, for those people that have that, oh, I don't have anyone to reach out to, you're giving them a lot of options. Okay, do you use the same graphics every month?
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I've created some variety over the course of the year, but everything I posted on this past Sunday was stuff that I had used in the previous. Actually, we did a mop month last April, and I still had all of those graphics from last April, and I just used everything from last April on this April.
And I'm going to also suggest, if you're somebody that wants to switch it up just a little bit, a lot of times you don't need to recreate the wheel every month, right? Keep it simple. But there's always graphics that are posted now in Photify, I believe, and also in Flickr. Like, so, you don't have to create anything yourself, is what I'm saying. And then, Erin, I do know you said you change up the verbiage depending on, like, for month, it might be a little bit different. So that's probably where you want to tweak it, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, yes, a lot of this is asking, are they going to be able to get this? Oh yes, you answered that. Are you posting the week before the Blitz, leading up to the Blitz? So when do you start that first post before the Blitz?
When do I make when I create the event, I make my first post so that people aren't entering an empty event. So that's a key for Facebook parties. Anything you're doing on Facebook, you don't want to create an event and people come into an empty event. And then a little tip for the location of the event, I always put click going to attend. That's my location. So then that pops up there for people that they need to click going to come to my Booking Blitz. I do that. I used to, when I did Facebook parties, I did that as a little key as well. And I wanted to throw in here Gail Ratchford, who contacted me before this webinar and wanted my booking stuff. I'd sent it to her. So she said she did her first one last month and had 10 consultants attend and 4 of them book parties. And she also got some new recruits out of it. And that's what you can expect from your first one. Like, under 10 will participate. Maybe only a fraction of those 10 will book parties, but people that participate will have success, and it will grow and grow and grow and grow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's amazing. So then the question came in, have you tried doing this on Squee?
I did do there is a Squee timeline code for some amazing creative people made a book with Frank, and it's all Frank Sinatra music, and it's really fun. I really liked it, and I did do that, but my team had no idea. They were like, what's happening? Where's the regular Booking Blitz? I don't know what's going on. So they were a little lost, and I did have people participate in book parties, but not as many as I usually had. So when I jumped back on the next month and did the regular Blitz, so I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing. So if you want to start with Squee, then stay with Squee. But I say if you start doing it off your team page is still a very effective way. Facebook is hard to do parties on these days, but I still think it's an effective way to reach my team. And
you need to do what works for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
And for you had already started. So throwing people off midstream is always a challenge. So I would say
it was great content. It's a great timeline. It had everything in it. I loved it. It was super cute and fun, but my team was lost. They were like, we don't know what we're doing.
Well, and this, I feel like what you're doing is very simple. So, and that feels good to people when they go, oh, it's simple. And you do it in a way that is, has a logical step-by-step flow to it. Okay, so next question. When you create the event, do you click the option for everyone in your group to be invited? How do your casual consultants react to being invited to this every month?
Some of them click can't go. Some of them do click can't go. I do invite everybody, but I don't have a downline of 500 people. So in the future, this could be an issue for me. Maybe I will only invite certain, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Right now, I invite everybody that can be invited.
Well, and you might have a casual consultant that all of a sudden has interest, you know.
And I have had people pop on that I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that person. And then I'll reach out to them and say, hey, Carla, I didn't realize you were working the business. You booked 4 parties. Oh my goodness. Do you want some help?
There you go. It's, you know, and it lets you know that actually there is, you know, life changes for people, right? And I love that you follow up from these booking blitzes. So it's not just, okay, you know, done and move on, but you use that to connect with your team and to support your new consultants.
You know, people want to know about using Squee and Zoom. So I would tell you the downfalls of using Squee and Zoom would be you couldn't do all the pre stuff, creating your mindset and, you know, work on your, so you do the mindset one day, you do your Frankie list the next day, then you do your calendar the next day. So I kind of have it broken down into steps day by day. I don't know how that would work on Zoom. And I think that's what was missing on Squee for my consultants when I did it on Squee.
That's a really good point. Now we know that you're sharing your slides and this will be recorded. We'll have to look into the Google Doc. People were asking about your Google Doc. I think you do give scripts in here. How do you run your Booking Blitz if you are away? Are you posting everything during the day instead of at 7 o'clock? Like, are you doing pre-posts?
So the tips to Blitz, that I would just post that in the morning with the verbiage and then say, you know, be sure to be back here at 9 p.m. The only thing that I'm posting during the Blitz is that roll call post. So I just have to have that graphic saved on my phone. The roll call post and be like, hey, everybody who's here with me, filling your calendars. And I don't feel like that's being fake, like I'm pretending to be there with them. I've filled my freaking calendar. So, I mean, you know, I'm booked until June. So I already did the work. So I'm there with them, supporting them in their blitzing. So all I have to do is post that graphic and then post the second one that says, you know, report your results here. So it's only 2 simple posts during the Blitz. Everything else can be done ahead of time.
So I think you've answered this because it asked, do you include the host rewards? And I'm guessing you don't. You just count on them for having them.
Host rewards for what?
Like the flyer for the month, I'm thinking.
Oh, no. They're just texting people the verbiage. Yeah, I mean, you could instruct your, now I did include some fun mop graphics that they could text potential hosts. I did include that. So you could be creative in what you provided in terms of your if you want consultants to send out the host graphic, if you want consultants to send out whatever, you can provide all that and then just tell them to copy, paste, and send.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say I don't provide the host graphic. I just give the verbiage, and then I had some cute mop graphics too.
Mm-hmm. And you can always pull those from our site as well. So here's our next question. Suggestions for those who say they don't know how to expand their Frankie list.
Okay, so that little graphic that has the FRANKI, so just making sure then they're listing subgroups under each of those. I had a different, okay, so I have a different Frankie list diagram here that shows like subgroups of Frankie. So previous coworkers, friends, your social group, relatives, parents of your kids' friends, coworkers, Facebook contacts, church group, neighbors. So really thinking about all of these little subgroups that we're part of, and then listing people under each subgroup. And then you're adding people to your Frankie list as you party. All of those people then become part of your contact list. Anyone that you've reached out to becomes part of your contact list. What's another great way to increase your Frankie list? Do a vendor event. That's a great way to reach out to people. Yep.
And for this month, I think everyone probably knows, but in the monthly team meeting agenda, we put, we put a Frankie list with some thought starters that are very specific to partying for the planet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Frankie for the planet. And you can do that yourselves. Like if there's a certain month going on, some people just, they just need to, have certain groups like, oh, I didn't think of anybody in that group. So you are getting lots and lots of kudos. You have Karen McConnell, who is watching from Northern Ireland and said it was fantastic. I know. Several people who have said that they've scheduled theirs, they already have theirs. Gail Radford, who you mentioned, had amazing results already. She said she kind of missed it. Is it a 30-minute event? No, it's from 7 to 9 in any given night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do 2-hour blitz. People can, hop on. They don't have to be there for the entire 2 hours blitzing. They're doing whatever amount, whatever their goal was. What was your goal? I'm talking a lot about making goals. How many people do you want to reach out to, and how many parties do you want to book? How many dates do you want on your calendar? Talking in terms of goal setting.
Mm-hmm. I think you pretty much answered this, but how far apart do you post the two?
I don't post more than once a day.
Okay. And you're posting the verbiage for the blitz during the blitz, correct?
Yes, or if I'm not going to be available during the blitz, if I'm out coaching a track meet or something during the blitz, then I will have posted that in the morning and just say, here are the tips you're going to use tonight, and the verbiage is in the comments below. So then all I'm having to do that night is post the roll call post and the results post.
Okay. And I think that's it. You not only did an amazing job, you answered everyone's questions, and and just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to check into whether the Google Doc is something that we can share, or a version of that. I think it's just more verbiage, correct, Erin? Your Google Doc?
Yeah, and really the presentation that I did for the leadership conference, that is essentially my Google Doc. I mean, there's nothing amazing in there that we didn't put here on this webinar, and that isn't on what's already provided in the back office. There really isn't anything additional.
And I think that in fact this expands it a little bit. So if anyone is, like you just want this immediately, from leadership conference, Erin was part of a panel it was a booking panel, and the slides that you're pretty much seeing here are also already available for you in the back office under training and conference. So we do that. We post everyone's slides so you have something to refer back to after we have these amazing workshops, which is where Erin first did this, and we heard great results. So
Yeah, Susan, the name of the workshop is Increase Team Bookings Panel.
okay, so there you have it. But we'll be getting this up very shortly as well. So you'll have all of Erin's slides, and everyone is just saying, great job, Erin, and thank you so much. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks, Susie, for pulling this together and facilitating. And we wish you fabulous results in your Booking Blitz. Please let your RSM know what your dates are, and we'll all be sharing to and cheering you on. So thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.